Hello everyone, myself Shilpa Rudravar and here I will be discussing you about the topic Introduction to MOSFET from VLSI circuit. Outline of that syllabus or course is MOS transistor theory, and second is concept of why won't PMOS passes 0 and NMOS passes 1. Here is the starting. What is meant by MOSFET? MOSFET is the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor which is used for amplifying the electrical signal as well as it is used for switching as a switching circuitry. Now, depending upon this type of MOSFET, there are two types of MOSFET basically. First is enhancement MOSFET, where device is already, whenever we are applying particular gate voltage, device will turn on and current will flow. But in depletion type of MOSFET, device is already on before the application of gate voltage, and whenever you are applying the gate voltage, the current decreases. In enhancement MOSFET, there are again two types, N-channel MOSFET and P-channel MOSFET. Again in depletion, also there are two types, that is N-channel and P-channel MOSFET. Now, these are some symbols for N MOSFET and P MOSFET. Basically, MOSFET is having 4 terminals, that is drain, source, gate and substrate. But by default, substrate and source are connected to each other, forming only 3 terminals, that is the drain, source and gate. Here, here the substrate for the P MOSFET is connected to the ground, and for the PMOS it is connected to VCC to avoid the body effect. Now this is the basic structure of the N-channel enhancement type MOSFET, where this grey color indicates metal, this pink color indicates SiO2 layer, that is gate is insulated from channel. This is source terminal, drain terminal and gate terminal, and this is your P substrate. Inside this there are two regions, N region which is forming source and drain. Now this N region is having majority charge carriers are electrons, and in P substrate majority charge carrier are holes. Now at the starting, whenever we have not given any voltage, there is no formation of the inversion layer, that is a channel. That's why current will not flow. But as you are applying for the N channel gate, if you are connecting to the positive voltage, that is VDD or 5 volt logic high, at that time number of electrons will get accumulated across this gate, behind this gate, and forming a channel. As channel is formed, and whenever you are applying proper drain to source voltage, the current starts flowing from source to drain. So this is actually working of the N MOSFET, means whenever VGS, gate to source voltage, is more than or greater than 0.7 or 1 volt, that is the threshold voltage, and proper drain to source voltage is applied, current will flow, means the circuit will become on, or this will be acting as a on switch. Here the same thing is explained. This is again a symbol of that N channel MOSFET having drain, gate, source, and this is substrate. If you are connected the substrate to the source which is connected to the negative terminal, then we can avoid the body effect. So to turn this device on, we have to apply VGS to the gate. Whenever we are applying VGS, there is a formation of inversion layer, and after the inversion layer is formed, that is number of electrons are there present in that particular channel. By applying proper source to drain voltage or drain to source voltage, so current will flow or the device will become on. So there are 3 types of region in which this particular MOSFET is working. First is the cutoff region, then linear region, and last most is the saturation region. In this first region, that is the cutoff region, whenever voltage VGS is less than VT, that is the threshold voltage, suppose we are considering here 0.7, there is no formation of a channel, and that's why current flowing is very less, that is because of minority charge carrier. So we can say at this particular point our device is in off state. Next we are having second stage, where we are applying gate voltage greater than or equal to threshold voltage, that is 0.7. There is a formation of proper inversion layer, and current will flow by the application of proper drain to source voltage. So here that is mentioned VD equal to VD sat. So whenever your voltage is VD sat, current is flowing, that is it is following the Ohm's law. Current increases with increase in the voltage. And last thing is the saturation state. In this, whenever voltage is greater than VGS is greater than VT and your drain to source voltage is also greater than VD saturation, then there is a current which is you are getting the highest value, but it is in the saturated form. That's why we are saying it is in saturation region. Now signal strength. Signal strength means how close it approximates ideal voltage source. That is, if you are giving 1 as a 5 volt as a VDD, so you should, if you are getting same 5 volt at the output, it is called as a strong 1. And if you are giving 0 as a ground, and if you are getting 0 as a ground voltage at the output, means we can say it is a strong 0 you are getting. So here NMOS passes strong 0, but it passes weak 1. In the same way, PMOS passes strong 1 and it passes weak 0. So that is the reason why NMOS is based for pull down network and PMOS is based for pull up network. So this is the diagram related to PMOS and NMOS. Normally for the CMOS design, we are having PMOS network also as well as the NMOS network also. As we already discussed that PMOS passes strong 1, that's why we are connecting PMOS network in a pull up network, that is it is connected to VDD. As NMOS passes strong 0, we are connecting that to ground side, that is pull down network, and that the name pull up and pull down network is. Now here is the question that why both PMOS passes 0 and NMOS passes 1. You have to think on this particular question and we have to give the answer for that. This was actually a reflection spot where you have to think about why PMOS won't pass strong 0 and NMOS won't pass strong 1. So reason I am giving over here. Now this is the normal inverter, CMOS inverter, where PMOS is connected in pull up network which is connected to VDD and NMOS is connected in pull down network. As this is an inverter, we have connected gate of all the PMOS and NMOS to one point and we are giving V in voltage at that point. We have connected one load capacitor, that is C load, over here. This is source, drain, drain, source, and the source of that NMOS is connected to ground. Now as we want the answer of our question, here is the diagram. Now instead of having PMOS connected in pull up network, we are replacing PMOS by NMOS. So just in whatever shown in this figure, we are just changing the position of the PMOS. So here we have changed the position of NMOS to PMOS. So this is the NMOS and capacitor connected to the source of that NMOS, and VDD is given to the drain terminal of the NMOS. Now as you know, NMOS turns on when you are applying strong 1 or logic 1 to the gate terminal of the NMOS. So here 1 means that is the logic 1, that is the high voltage. Now we are suppose considered 1 as 5 voltage. So as you know, this VGS means VG minus VS. So formula is given over here, VGS equal to VG minus VS. To turn the device on, you require VGS should be greater than VT, which is 0.7. So VG is given at this particular point is 1. 1 means it is a logic 1 which is considered as a 5 volt. So I have written here 5 volt minus VS. Now here as we are applying this VDD and this device is on, that is voltage across VGS is greater than 0.7, the device is on and this capacitor starts charging towards VDD. When it charges towards VDD, once it reaches 4.3, as VG minus VS equal to VGS, 5 volt minus 4.3 equal to 0.7. Once capacitor tries to charge above this, the voltage VGS decreases and it will become less than 0.7, and at that point this particular NMOS turns off. As NMOS turns off, this capacitor will not able to charge up to VDD, and that's why output voltage we can say that NMOS passes weak 1. That is here maximum voltage we are getting across capacitor is 4.3, which is not logic high, which was 5 volt. And that's why we are saying that NMOS passes won't pass a strong 1. Next thing, that why PMOS won't pass strong 0. So again we are having same diagram of inverter. We have changed the position of P MOSFET in place of N MOSFET. So here we have replaced N MOS by P MOS. So this is P MOS and this is capacitor which is connected to this terminal. Now as we know, for the P MOS, whenever VGS is less than it is equal to minus 0.7, the device is turning on. Now here VGS equal to VG minus VS, that is equal to 0 minus 0.7. Now at start, suppose the voltage across this capacitor is VDD, that is capacitor is previously fully charged. Now as this device is turned on, because of voltage across this VGS is less than or it is equal to minus 0.7, because that is the voltage you require to turn the PMOS on, that is it should be negative. So I have given 0. 0 means we are having ground, that is negative, and that's why the device is on. As this device is on, whatever the voltage you are having across this capacitor, that is VDD, it will try to discharge it through ground. Now once the voltage across capacitor reaches 0.7, what will happen? VGS equal to VG minus VS, which is equal to minus 0.7. And once this capacitor tries to discharge again, suppose it reaches to minus 0.6, your VGS voltage will decreases to minus 0.6. At that point, your PMOS will be turning off. And as PMOS turns off, this particular capacitor will not able to discharge fully through the ground. And that's why we are saying that PMOS won't pass strong 0. And this is the reason why we are connecting PMOS to the pull-up network and NMOS in a pull-down network. Thank you.